Tandon. So Tandon represent. I think we have a couple other Tandon speakers too. And he made an app called Sentient Electronics. I apologize. And it's about like medical diagnostics through your phone. And it's an app. So he's kind of looking to blend comp sci with biology. So with that, Edie.
Thanks a lot for that, Adam. I think Abby spoke about democratizing education, which is really cool because I'm going to be talking about democratizing healthcare. So in the fields of communication, transportation, and even space exploration, we made tremendous progress. But when it comes to healthcare, we don't seem to be catching up. It's easier for me to get a movie ticket than get an appointment with my doctor. If I had to wait a month to get a movie ticket, that would be a minor inconvenience, but waiting a month to see my doctor, that could be fatal. And that's exactly what's happening now. And what's worse is that we're used to it. We made tremendous advances when it comes to finding new diseases and creating new cures and creating better ways of treatment. But all the new technology and inventions are being built for doctors and specialists instead of people like you and me. Take something like the stethoscope. You can buy this in your local pharmacy, but you can't really use it on yourself unless you have the required training, right? So all these years, we've been trying to create this system that's been overly dependent on doctors and specialists, and unfortunately, the number of doctors isn't really catching up with the growing population. By 2025, there's going to be a shortage of more than 100,000 doctors just in the US. And if we don't really take action right now, it might have catastrophic consequences on our own society. So how do we deal with this healthcare catastrophe? I think that we need to start transitioning from making devices only for doctors to making more and more monitoring devices for people like you and me, so that we're empowered to take initiative of our own health and really be less reliant on the healthcare institution. Daniel Kraft, who's a professor and a physician at Stanford University, says that we need to move from a sick care system to a healthcare system, where we're not just thinking about our health when we're sick, but we're constantly monitoring our bodies, making predictions, and avoiding getting sick in the first place. This could drastically reduce the burden on our healthcare institutions, because often a lot of serious diseases are because of the fact that we were negligent, or maybe leading bad lifestyles, or maybe did not have the right medical facilities in the first place. So how do we scale this technology so that monitoring is accessible to everybody in a more sustainable way? The answer is smartphones. Almost everybody here uses smartphones. By 2020, more than 2.8 billion people in the world are going to be using smartphones. The number of doctors may be declining, but smartphones are exponentially growing. And we can use this to scale healthcare to everybody else. Smartphones are the most personal devices, and they can act as central repositories collecting information from all the medical devices that we're using. And this shift to a more smartphone-based consumer-focused medical devices is already happening. Take something like a AliveCore, which is a EKG monitoring device that monitors your heart for abnormal activities and can be attached to your phone. This is a lifesaver when it comes to detecting heart disease and heart attacks in advance. Take something like a glucometer, which has been around for a while, but it's been reinvented to work with your smartphone so that people with diabetes can actually track their glucose levels in real time. Take something like Fitbit. How many of you use Fitbits here? Okay, all right. Even though a Fitbit just tracks your daily step count, it's completely reinvented the way people look at taking care of their health. So all these years, healthcare has been dependent on doctors and has been available to only a certain few who could afford it. But now we can scale this technology so that everybody on the planet can have access to good quality healthcare. And as consumers, we'll be able to track everything that's happening in our body, just like the traffic on Google Maps. So in a world where doctors are becoming increasingly scarce, it's more important than ever for us to take care of our own health and be the masters of our well-being, because that is the future.